there's three key issues here that I'd like to address. Number one, if I'm mayor, the mayor's office will be open constantly for anyone in the public to walk in and express their feelings. A little bit of history, the Cablevision here in Murray does have a downtown Cablevision station within our City Hall building that was placed in this building back a few years ago, number one, to possibly broadcast council meetings. And I think it would be one of the most excellent things that we could do to inform the public would be to have our council meetings on this particular channel so the public can inform themselves. Another thing that's happened in recent months, Mayor Foster is writing an article in the newspaper to inform people of what's going on and what's happening on a regular basis. So there are things that are changing already, but I would very much like to see the council meetings broadcast.
Your question. Butch, thanks for the mention. The article's been well received, and we've had good comments on the mayor's comments from the city. Thank you. My question would deal with the financial woes that most cities are facing across the country. With the loss of revenue sharing, the federal program cut, the money went out of the till here and left us seriously crippled in a financial way. We made some adjustments in the auto vehicle license and made other budgetary adjustments to try to make up for those losses. I would like for you to give us an overview of the financial picture of Murray, Kentucky, and what you intend to do to keep this operation financially sound during your tenure as mayor of Murray.
The finances of the city today, to my knowledge, are only what I've heard spoken probably at coffee tables. I am not completely aware of the finances of the city other than to know that we are on a tight budget. And I feel like that the new mayor should look at the budget when the new mayor takes over, look at the potential income, and then at this point in time make an informed decision to the people of our city. I don't think that we should overlook the potential of our grants. Our two school systems are constantly announcing grants, and I don't think that we can plan to solve all of our woes with the grants, but this must be a thrust for our city government, is to investigate and tap and get all available grants monies we can. Now, we also must be familiar with the right places in Frankfort and in Washington to go to. I would hope that my background would give me the ability to go to Frankfort and knock on the correct doors. But at this point in time, I do not want to address directly the solution to all of the problems, financial problems of the city, other than what I've said. Thank you.
As you know, Walt, you're talking about losing revenue sharing. As a city councilman, we took a look at the financial situation after losing approximately $300,000. I've been involved with this almost 4 years. And Mayor Holmes Ellis appointed a blue ribbon committee of the leaders and business people of the area to come up with a recommendation for us to follow. So we have followed that pretty well to the letter. We started off with one of the recommendations was to increase the city sticker. That was increased from $15 to $35. I did not vote for this because I thought it was too high. But this was one of the ways that we were recommended. Another way was that we would look at the business privilege license. So we sat down and we spent several nights studying this. We raised some, tried to get everybody in the same category. When we got through, we were informed legally we couldn't do it. It was arbitrary and capricious. So therefore, we had to junk it. So then the next thing was to look at annexation. So that was one of the things that recommended. So we did that. We fumbled the ball some, I must admit, in getting it out. And one of the things we was talking about, communications. We did a poor job with communications on annexation. So therefore, they have enough signatures and we're going about this fall. To me, annexation will not, according to the study we had, produce any additional revenue. But I believe in orderly growth in the city, so I voted for annexation. So that leaves one other thing that the committee recommended, and that was a 0.5% payroll tax, or an earnings tax, so to speak. We have not addressed that in the 4 years. We had a budget report the other night, and I was, I was happy that we found out our insurance tax probably was going to run over $100,000 this year. So we are meeting budget at this time. But as mayor of your city, I will take the responsibility. I will bite the bullet, whatever it takes, to finance this city. And I think we need to look at financing it not on a piecemeal basis, meeting budget every year like we're doing this year, but we should look on a long-term basis and get the kind of money that we need. And I propose to do that.
The financial status of the city, Walt, I hear every day is getting in pretty sad shape. But it's one thing I want to say to the general public so they'll understand is that the city is basically operating in two separate, they're not totally separate, but they're, we have a general fund operation which is basically police, fire, and our clerk's office. Then we have a public works and utilities, and most people tend to confuse or put this all together and say, well, the city's going broke. That's not true. The city's public works and utilities are basically things that we pay for that has to do with water, gas, sewer, sanitation, and this type of thing. They're self-supporting. The general fund operation, which did lose $300,000 a year over the last few years, is suffering and is having some difficulty in doing some financial planning at this time. But as Mr. Cherry pointed out, they have been able to make a budget and will make a budget again this year. Now, I have been involved with the city for the past 8 years. I have been involved with the budgets, presenting them to the mayor, presenting them to the council. I've watched what our council has been doing, what our mayors have been doing over the past in doing our financial planning. The only problem that I have is financial planning. I sat in on the same budget and finance meeting the other night, and next year was definitely talked about and plans are being made. But there was never a question asked by any of our council members, what's going to happen the following year? What's going to happen the next 5 years? It disturbs me because we need to look at the next 5 years, the next 10 years even. But 5 years is a good financial planning bracket. One thing the city has done in the last year, we have appointed a financial officer, Mr. Don Leet, who is in charge of all of the city's finances. This is kind of bringing things together to be looked at in 5-year plans. So the only thing that I have to say is that something is going to have to be done to generate money over the next few years, and that's all I have to say.